the CW6 in Phoenix, it's Politics in the Yard with Jaime Molera. Tonight's guest, President of the Arizona chapter of Associated General Contractors, David Martin. Plus, vent or veto, and we play a game called Acts of Congress. I'm Shep Wilson with DJ Filibuster, and in the car ready to pick up our guest is Jaime Molera. Jaime?
Thank you, Shep, and welcome to Politics in the Yard. I'm on my way to pick up David Martin with the Arizona General Contractors. See you in a bit. Come on in, I'll take you over. But you were born and raised
Born and raised here, third generation, multiple generation in the Southwest.
Wow.
My family's been here for at least 20 generations in the Southwest. And not many people know this about me, but I'm Hispanic. And I'm proud of that heritage here in the Southwest.
On your mother's side?
My mother's and father's side, both.
So how did they get to Arizona? How did the Martins?
My dad's mom came from Spain, and my dad's grandma came from Spain, and my mom's family, I guess, since we're related to Coronado, came up with that group coming up from Mexico and settled up in the New Mexico area.
What did they do in Phoenix? How did they make a living?
Well, the old timers will remember this. There was a Reynolds Metals manufacturing facility over on, I think it was like Van Buren and 44th Street, and my dad worked there as a supervisor. He worked really, really hard. He was a blue-collar worker, and
big Catholic family?
Big Catholic family, yeah. I'm the youngest of 6.
So you grew up here, Phoenix. You went to Central High School.
Yeah,
right?
Bobcats.
After a very brief stint at Brophy.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Appreciate that.
That's quite all right. But let's focus on the Bobcats. So you became a Bobcat. You still go to high school reunions? Do you still interact with buddies from there?
You know, my preferred alumni involvement is my alma mater, Arizona State University. Okay. And I love ASU. I don't necessarily like what happened in the Cactus Bowl, but that's a different discussion. Right.
So you and I actually, I remember you in college.
Yeah.
You were in a fraternity right next door to mine. You were in the Fijis. I was a Theta Chi.
Theta Chi.
But we're both ASU boys and went at the same time. I don't remember you getting into that much trouble though.
Oh no, I never did.
You're involved and you're engaged. But it really comes back to the family issue. Started out with a big family. Mm-hmm. Now you've got your own.
Right.
How many kids?
I have 3 kids. My wife and I have been married since '94.
Is that right? Wow.
So we're looking at 22 years.
Yeah, this year. Same with me, actually.
October.
Oh, I was in July.
All right, so you have a little more experience and knowledge than me in marriage, so I need to seek your advice on that. So yeah, it's I told some friends of mine that it's sort of like taking the pitchfork in the hay and just taking it and moving it right back.
I've never heard that analogy.
Letting my wife figure it out, because she's so great at home and organizing the home front. And you know,
are your kids? How old are your kids?
I have a 17-year-old and 2 16-year-olds.
Holy cow! Are they
awesome.
twins?
Yeah.
You, as a Phoenician, I mean, what do you do around here? What do you and your wife like to do? I take it, is she from Arizona also?
No, she's from Montana.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, she's from Montana. We met in college. And
so she was a ASU grad.
She was an ASU double grad. She got her undergraduate degree and she has a master's degree. So we hike. My wife and I hike. We really love hiking. Really, we're in an interesting transition, like everyone goes through probably at this age, is when your kids are getting to the point where they're moving off to college or moving off to, or becoming more independent. You got to begin to look at the other things that you're going to be handling as a couple. And we're doing that because our focus has been the kids,
So is there any way that you just unplug? Is there like a favorite thing that you do that just is, aside from the hiking with your wife, just say?
I go up to my cabin in New Mexico.
Oh, you have okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, north of Santa Fe, south of town. can't completely unplug with the modern technology we have today, just can't. That's just the reality.
Well, I got to tell you, again, I'm very excited that you're going to be on our show because you've had a big impact in Arizona politics for a long, long time.
Jaime and David are back, and we'll be right back too as Politics in the Yard continues.
Well, thank you. I hope the car ride over here wasn't too traumatic for you.
Horrible.
Well, good. Well, you're lucky we got here at all, actually.
I know. Person cut you off.
First, tell me a little bit about the Arizona chapter of the Associated General Contractors of America. I mean, tell me your organization. Who are you?
Well,
guys?
we've been around since 1934. We are the oldest continuing construction association in the state, and we represent highway heavy contractors, civil contractors, folks that build roads, streets, highways, bridges, dams,
big
all the big
companies.
construction stuff. So I'm actually the third exec that's been there. We have a couple in the middle, but three that have spanned that time for quite a period of time.
Is that right? And you've been the head of that for how long now?
19 years. 19 years this year.
So some might ask the question, why are we having the head of a general contractors association on a political show?
Well, I personally believe that the men and women of our association are heroes, for one thing.
Right.
And I'll tell you the reason why. We build the roads, the streets, the highways, the airports that get grandma to the Midwest to fly there, that get the first responders to the houses to save people's lives. So I think our members play a vital role, not only on the transportation front, but on a safety front.
But that's big money, though, right? When you're talking about getting that infrastructure, you're talking about big money, and usually big money means big politics.
Well, yeah. So you have to really, really engage, and you have to really, at least our folks understand that it takes quite a bit of investment to get large projects over the top. Things like Prop 400. Right. We spent multiple $1 million on Proposition 400, which is the reason why the second reason why we have our freeway system. The first one was Proposition 300. Right. Right. Of course, the latest one is Proposition 104 in the city of Phoenix on the transit tax. Right. That's a $35 billion plan. It takes a considerable amount of money.
35 years.
So
let's talk about that. So you were involved in Prop 104, recently got passed overwhelmingly. Right. But it didn't happen by accident. You just didn't put it on the ballot and just cross your fingers and hope that everything was going to turn out okay. It was a lot of tell us a little bit about your involvement.
So here's the deal. So it's really simple. The campaign consultants are only as good as the money that they can spend. Okay? It's really that simple. And so, and there's even formulas on this dealing with the amount of votes you can get per dollar that you spend, right? So our goal at AGC is really simple. Raise the money, get our message out there first so that we can win. It's not any more complicated than that. Right. And our members know that we play a vital role in the economy, right? Mark Minner, my counterpart at the Arizona Builders Alliance, represents the vertical guys and gals, says, I've never seen a building without a road going to it, right? Right. So you have to have roads for our economy to be robust.
So let's talk about some of the other issues, not just campaigns. Okay. But you all are very much involved in the elections of policymakers, of state senators, state representatives. Yes. And one of the reasons is because you have issues like what's going on with the Highway Users Revenue Fund. Right. You're talking billions of dollars that are at stake. And over the last couple of years, that fund has been raided. Right. Best way of saying it, right? To help balance the budget. Yes. And what's your reaction to that?
Okay, I'm going to go over that for a second, but it's really important for the folks to know that our folks are people too. Right. Right? And so we're talking
because you're always seen as the business interest.
Right. But these are multiple generation companies that we represent. They've been around Arizona for a long, long time. So they really, really, really care about the state. Right. Okay. As it relates to the Highway User Revenue Fund, It's no secret that AGC has been way out in front on trying to guard the transfers from the Highway User Revenue Fund to the general fund. They've taken about $1.2 billion over the last 8-10 years. And
money that otherwise would have been used for infrastructure projects.
That would have otherwise been used for infrastructure, not only on the state level, but also on the county and city level.
Right.
Okay? But my challenge to the business community and my challenge to the policymakers is we need to rethink how we look at tax policy, because that $1.2 billion is pretty close to the amount of corporate tax cuts we've had over that same period of time. So basically what you're doing is you're robbing from Peter to pay Paul. And we don't agree with that. If you want to be, if folks want to be conservative, cut taxes and don't shift, okay? But the way they've backfilled, you know, it's understandable. The way they backfilled is they cut taxes, but backfilled with Highway User Revenue Fund.
So would you argue that by taking that $1 billion out of the system, has that hurt Arizona's infrastructure? Are there issues right now that
undoubtedly, and you just have to go to rural Arizona where the cities and counties depend on that. Where the, according to the Road Information Program, we're the fifth. Our rural roads are the fifth most fatal in the country. So yeah, it's affected folks, and it has real implications, like they talked about these fatalities.
Some of the consequences of having legislators that are more driven by the politics, and it seems lately over the last 10 years. And you and I have been a part of discussions that have said things like clean elections, things like independent redistricting commissions, all of these reforms have created more polarization, it seems like, at the legislature. We don't have those kinds of thoughtful discussions. When we were talking about the Air Quality Act of the 90s, we just don't seem to have that.
Well, there is a lot more vitriol in the system right now, and there's a number of reasons. You know, you talked about a couple of them, but I think one of the bigger ones is the advent of social media. Folks are looking for the quick soundbite, and to be able to get folks behind them in relative quick order. I mean, look at Donald Trump, right? He's the king of soundbites that have no substance behind them. Well, I mean, when you start pandering to that type of quick soundbite, then you know we're in trouble. I mean, I applaud the legislature for having a quick session. I applaud them. Don't get me wrong, but that process is meant to be extremely deliberative. And you know, when we were talking in the car, right? We were talking about how issues affect everyday folks. The folks here in your studio, they affect them every day. That needs to be deliberative. That needs to be talked about. The unintended consequences need to be talked about. And I don't know if that shorter legislative session allows that to occur.
Do you see it seems like over the last few years there's been a coalescence of major business organizations, your organization included, to really start to look at those major issues. I mean, we saw that with what the governor did with Proposition 123, this education effort. That wasn't done by the education community. That was done by major business interests. Do you see that happening more now?
Let me tell you what I see. I see the fact that the business community is beginning to get smarter and bringing their resources together, A. B, they're also willing to start taking some political risk, right? And there's safety in numbers, okay? And you know, I applaud Glenn Hammer. He's been on your show before, right? I applaud him for having to withstand the barrage that he received from the legislature during that Medicaid expansion issue. But that was the business community standing together and saying we're gonna be strong on this. And we, AGC's, always been a part of that. We've been a silent partner in many cases, but we've been a part of it.
I love talking to you, Dave. I always have a good conversation. Having you on our show is great, but we're not done yet. We have a few other things that we're going to get to, so if you can stick around.
You got it.
That's right, Jaime. When we come back, I'm going to head to the streets and get random questions from you, our viewers. It's a segment called Vent or Veto. That's next on Politics in the Yard. We're now in the streets to get random questions from our viewers. And remember, anything is fair game. Now, David, you can either hold the vent sign and answer the question, or hold the veto sign and Jaime will have to answer for you. Are you two ready?
Ready?
All right, let's play vent or veto.
Are you Star Wars or are you Star Trek?
I am definitely Star Wars because he reminds me of Darth Vader.
I'm not your father, though.
Thank heavens.
If you could hear someone's thought, who would you choose?
Definitely veto.
Oh, that's easy. I would choose my wife's thoughts. I have no clue what she's thinking half the time, and I have to guess, and 75% it's wrong.
Okay, good one.
Who was your favorite musical group growing up?
Veto.
I would have to say it was a mix. I can't say one. I think it had to have been Led Zeppelin, and it had to have been the Beatles. Those were the two groups that just dominated when I was growing up.
Will there ever be too much construction in Arizona?
Oh, I don't know whether I should veto this or vent this one. I'm not really sure. I will definitely vent, and the answer is absolutely not. There should be plenty of construction, because for $1 billion invested in construction, 21,000 jobs are created. That's why.
What's the best thing about Arizona?
Oh, I'm gonna let you answer that one.
All right.
Veto.
To me, it's simple. It's the people. I grew up here. I was born and raised. We're one of the few natives. I think we're the two natives right now in Arizona. But I just love Arizona. The people are great, and it's just a beautiful state.
What's the worst food you've ever eaten?
I will definitely vent this. I was down in Guadalajara, and this gentleman said, fried blood. He's trying to tell me it in English, right? And it was a fried blood burrito. It was horrible.
Okay, David, well, luckily there won't be any blood-fried burritos in this next segment. Ooh. I'll head back to the studios and we'll all team up for a new game called Acts of Congress. That's next on Politics in the Yard. Welcome back. Now we're all going to play Acts of Congress. We're going to split up into two teams, David and I versus DJ Filibuster and Jaime. Both teams will be given the same political phrase, but without using any words, they have to act it out so that their partner figures out what it is. You guys ready?
Red eye.
All right, let's play Acts of Congress. All right, you guys, you two will be performing first.
Okay.
So go ahead and grab a card. See what it is? Okay, 30 seconds on the clock. Are you ready?
Ready?
Go. Talking.
Debating.
Oh,
Yes.
that was,
Yes.
I don't even know what
That
to
was-
say about
was
that.
very nice.
Same thing. That's what I'm talking about. Good job.
But it's our turn now.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Oh, I'm excited. Are you ready?
I'm born ready.
Okay, 30 seconds on the clock. Go.
Running man.
Running for office.
Running for office.
And that's
Very nice.
how
That
you
was the
do
same
it.
time. Okay.
Okay, your turn.
Okay.
We're going downstairs. One to one. At least we got one.
Yeah, I know.
All
He's like, yeah.
right, Jeff.
Okay.
All right, 30 seconds on the clock. Go.
Donkeys. Democrats. Bulls. Running bull
how do I
stops.
do this?
Stand.
Stop.
Debate.
Stop.
Stop Democrats.
Okay.
Stop.
We're doing the same thing.
Halt.
Stop
Freeze.
bulls. Stop four syllables. For
Let's see.
running.
Okay.
Stop.
Yeah. Democrat.
Okay. All right.
Big Democrat. Don't
I know, it's a
Demo stop. Demo
stop,
halt.
run, stop.
Demolition.
Okay.
Okay,
this is good. This is too
We had
tough.
I think okay, buzzer's out.
The buck stops.
All right.
The
Wait.
buck stops
The buck
here.
stops here. It's
Oh,
a
the
buck.
buck.
Try
Oh,
No,
so I
a
got-
buck.
Yeah, see. Okay.
Okay. 30 seconds on the clock. Go.
Thinking.
You're,
Thinker. Thinking box.
Oh
Box.
my
Driver
gosh,
box.
what are you,
Drive.
big guy.
Gun. Gun.
Shooting.
Thinking gun.
Thinking gun. Thinking
Gun.
arrow.
Artillery.
Thinking shot.
Rope.
Thinking
Robot. Thinking robot.
War.
Thinking dance. Thinking box.
punch.
Box. Square. Thinking square.
War. Thinking war.
Fish.
War.
Fish.
Thinking battleship.
Thinking fish.
Thinking
Fish
ship.
war.
Thinking
Thinking
drive ship.
Thinking ship.
What is that? That's a machine.
Swim.
That's a
swim.
ship.
Swim in a
What
box.
is that? That's
Swim in a box.
Thinking.
Think tank.
Oh my
So
god.
first, I was like the actual tank, and then I was like
Man.
a fish tank.
You really
and-
got that. Hi, man.
That's tough.
All right,
Okay,
now
we're
it's-
tied. We got to do one more.
This is
Oh,
it,
yeah.
All right.
Down the line here.
That was
Oh.
tough. All right, DJ, let's do it.
Okay. 30 seconds on the clock. Go.
Okay, strong,
Parting,
strong,
spreading,
Keep
separating,
going.
strong
That,
separation.
that was it.
What?
Go ahead.
separating,
Strong separation. Strong, flip,
separating muscle, separating
weak,
strength,
strong, divide. Strong,
separate.
strong, divide.
Stop.
Strong,
Okay,
strong,
separate.
divide.
You were right the first time.
Strong,
Separation, divide, separation, strength,
big chasm. Big
separation, muscle, separation. What's another? Separation. fix,
separation of
separating-
powers.
Oh, you don't.
Separation, power.
I'm like this.
That's about. I got the power to
Okay,
point.
I'm just saying. Dave.
Oh, you dumb. You.
All right,
So
good job,
jealous, guys.
DJ.
Oh, we got
DJ, good job.
That's good.
Good
job.
job.
Cool. That was fun.
That was
I,
nice.
I still love you, David. I still love you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
So I want to thank Shep Wilson, who always does a fantastic job. DJ Filibuster, who's part of the championship winning team, I just got to say.
I won.
And I do want to thank David Martin. Not only you're a friend, you're somebody that I admire. AGC is a formidable force in Arizona, and thank you for being on Politics in the Yard. Can't wait to see you again next week.